What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. Oh man, so it is time to bring this series back to its roots and tell another story, another life story, another adventure, whatever you want to call it. So here we go. This one is fairly recent. It went down last Monday night, and it was a night of pure mayhem and insanity. So let's get right to it, man. So, um, I had tickets for a premiere for the advanced screening of a movie called Drive Away Dolls. Uh, it's in theaters this September. Matt Damon, Pedro Pascal, just a star-studded cast, man. And while I can't talk about the movie as a whole, because I'm under an NDA, but it was a really good movie, and definitely look for a full review when it comes out this September, when I can finally talk about it. Anyway, so on my way to the Drive Away Dolls premiere, what happened was I had booked my ride to go to one theater, and the premiere itself was at a whole different theater. So I had booked myself to go to the AMC on West 68th Street, Lincoln Square. If you know, if you're from New York, that's Lincoln Square, right by Lincoln Center. You know, Central Park West is over there. But yeah, so I had booked myself to go over there, thinking that the premiere was there, which is where most of these advanced screenings happen. So not so I get there. There's nobody in line. I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, the line is the premiere. Keep in mind the premiere started at 7 o'clock, and so this particular company that was running this screening, they usually are super organized. They have you do a pre-check-in. They they let people in super early, and the movie actually starts on time. Some companies, some outlets that run premieres, it's all chaotic and it's all crazy, and movie doesn't start on time, and then people get pissed off, and it's just the whole thing. So, all right. Anyway, so I'm there. I'm waiting for a line to form, and like it's at this time when I'm waiting, it's like five o'clock, and I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Normally, a line starts to form, and I see the people that I always see at these things because I go to a lot of them, as you guys know. But what do you call it? But in this case, no line was forming. So I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then so I look down at my phone, and instead of it saying Lincoln Square, it says Union Square, which is like all the way like on the other side of Manhattan, man. So I book it to the bus, like the M7 bus, and I try to get down there. The M7 bus goes through Times Square, so you know that how much of a headache that is. Even if you're from New York, if you're not from New York, you should know if you've been here before. Anyway, yeah. So get down there, make it to West 14th Street with only East 14th Street and First Avenue with only minutes to spare. Literally got there at like 6:50. The people were nice enough to let me in. My friend Liz, who plays a vital role in this story, she was there. Okay, so we're enjoying the movie. Movie is great, like I said. And halfway through, I look down at my finger, and I feel my left middle finger throbbing. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I go in where there's a little bit of light at, and I look down at it, and man, the whole left side of my middle finger is like purple and throbbing, and I'm like, oh crap, what is going on here? So, and I've had this type of injury before, so if it's the injury that I think it is, I have to get it done. I have to get this dealt with quickly. So movie ends, and then I tell my friend Liz, hey, I gotta go. to the emergency room, and because my fingers like throbbing like crazy, and it hurts, and I gotta go get it checked out. So we get down to the emergency room on First Avenue, and then we're there for like what, 2.5 hours, and the usual craziness of the ER. People coming in with various injuries, and they do it by severity. They go by severity of injury and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to like freak out and prepare for the worst, like I said, because before, when I had this type of injury, what they had to do was they had to go in, use a nerve block on the finger that was hurt, and kind of drain any pus that was in there. So I'm bracing myself for that. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. I'm okay. So then my friend Liz, who's staying with me the whole time, and like, she's so tired because she had stuff to do during the day, and yet she came out for me when she didn't have to. So I definitely appreciate her for that. Yeah, so ironically, that didn't end up happening. I guess it was just maybe a freak accident, maybe I banged it or something, whatever it is. So the doctor was just like, hey, put some heat on it, put a hot compress, and you should be feeling better, which I did, and my finger is better. But that's not where the story ends. Story ends where, okay, so after we get out of the emergency room, it's after midnight. So I call an Uber to get me home, because like I don't want to take the buses, like especially I have to take 3 buses to get home from where the emergency room is to my house. So I don't want to do that. It's after midnight. I'm tired. We're both super tired, as a matter of fact. So I call Uber, order a handicap van. So guy pulls up, can't get the back door open to let down the folding lift that'll allow me to roll in the van. So he goes, okay, you're gonna have to call another one. So I'm like, all right, I'm not doing that shit. So at this point, it's like 12:15, quarter past midnight. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to trek this journey, because they already charged me what, $30 for the trip, even though the trip wasn't completed. And y'all know how Uber does. But anyway, so I start the trek home at 1/4 after midnight. So get on the M15. M15 doesn't take too long. I take the M15 uptown to catch the Q60. And by the time I get to the Q60 at around 12:30. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is gonna be a smooth thing. Maybe it's not gonna be as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So I get there, and then it tells me, according to my app on my phone, that the next bus isn't until 1 o'clock. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, great. So waiting there half an hour. Doesn't come at 1 o'clock. It comes at 1:15. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then, okay, we're all waiting. Get over the Q60, get off of the Q60, then have to catch the final bus home, which is the Q58, which drives me right in front of my house. So the Q58 also has the timer once you get to where the Q58 is. It also has the timer, so I'm looking at the timer, and now it says 45 minutes coming, and then at this point I'm like, oh my god. So 45 minutes waiting, then instead of it going down, 40, 35, whatever it is, it keeps going up. So then I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Then it goes to 60 minutes, an hour. It goes to 60 minutes, then I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta wait an hour. At this point, it's about 1:45, I think, maybe almost 2 o'clock. So then I'm like, oh my god. So then I'm waiting, okay, timer finally decreases to 0. Yeah, at this point it's 2:45. So get on the 58 bus. But the only upside to getting on the bus late at night like that is the fact that nobody's out at the bus stops late at night. So it moves fast. So they're not stopping at every bus stop. So that's the only upside to this. Okay, so get get to the get on the 58. Take the about a half an hour ride to my house, and from where I caught the 58 at, a half an hour ride. Then finally get home. Finally get home at almost 3:30 in the morning. And on top of that, okay, here we go. It is, and it doesn't end. You would think if I'm home, it ends, right? But here we go. Fun shit. So I'm going to like my hospital band. I'm gonna cut it off and all that stuff because it's really tight around my wrist. So I'm cutting it off, and I asked my uncle for help. My uncle Rob for help. So he takes a pair of scissors that are on my desk. Okay, cool. And instead of cutting the band, he accidentally pierces through my skin while trying to cut through the band. So now I not only am tired, I have a somewhat messed up finger because I hadn't done the treatment yet, and not only that, now it looks like I slit my wrist on my left hand, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on here? So blood starts coming, a little bit of blood starts coming out. Like I have a good laugh about it, whatever. So yeah, get home, get settled in, and finally go to sleep around 4:30 in the morning, man, and that was the end of a chaotic Monday night. Yes, all of that happened in one night. I'm not even joking. All right, so yeah, and speaking of the end, that is gonna do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.